Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Actually made it to 2025. If you'd asked me this about a decade or so ago, I would have said no chance. But they're all bonus years as far as I'm concerned. I'm no spring chicken. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be reaching the big 7-0 in March this year. So that's rather daunting to think that I've been on this planet that long. 2024, on a personal basis, has been fairly challenging in that I've had the medical issues with the retina dislodgement in my right eye. I'd had the same thing happen about 5 years prior to that with my left eye, and that was really scary because I hadn't been through it before. I was a little more cavalier about it this time, although it's a very serious situation. My left eye is my better one, so that was the more important of the two eyes. But in any case, it was, it was a bit of a worry, but I got through it okay. The biggest hassle is that I had to go to Brisbane to be treated because it's a specialist situation, and that required flights down to Brisbane on 4 occasions, and that was a bit of a drag, although I've got to say that the hospital there was excellent, so the Medicare system is working very well. Luckily, I don't have debt, so I can't empathise with a lot of Aussies who are really finding the increased interest rates hard to handle. Luckily, I've paid off a fair bit of my mortgage, and I've got just a small amount there, basically just to give me the redraw, just to keep that. So that's basically where I am at the moment. So I'm very conservative with my own finances. So I don't have money worries, but I certainly had medical worries in 2024. But as we're moving into 2025, that looks as though that operation on my right eye was fairly successful. So that's a few moment. That's what I'm trying to say. So basically, it was a challenging year, but we got through it okay. I'm still very happy where I live, and I was still able to get a couple of trips to Vietnam in. So that was a lot of travel by air, which I'm not a big fan of, but at least 2 of those trips were for pleasure, going back to Vietnam, and that was really great. I always enjoyed returning there. So that was fairly okay. Now 2000 and just one other thing I want to mention about 2024. There were a couple of things that happened in the technology stakes that were quite incredible. We had AI hit the ground running, and it looks as though we are very close to having artificial intelligence that's equivalent, if not greater, than general intelligence that humans possess. And that's going to be a fundamental change in our society, and it could be scary because we don't want a Skynet situation or the Forbin project. These are 2 sci-fi references about a malevolent AI which is out to get us, and we don't want that. And Elon Musk has warned against that. So it's not just a pie in the sky problem, it really is an issue. The other amazing thing is just robotics have come out of nowhere. For years we've been talking about having a humanoid robot, but now there's dozens, literally dozens of companies producing humanoid robots. They're not as sleek, as fast moving, as smooth moving as what you'd expect in a sci-fi context. It's like iRobot, but it's getting there, and they will be taking jobs on production lines, warehouses and what have you, and eventually coming into the home. And it is quite a revolution because the price of these robots isn't astronomical. It's a similar price to, say, a small car. So it is within the means of a lot of people, and that is a fundamental change as well. So it's been it was an extraordinary year, 2024, and probably will be seen as a major turning point. It's also a year that EVs came down to earth, which was quite extraordinary because I don't drive, but there's been so much hype about EVs in the past. overhyped, and now the reality is hit, and they're not as cheap to drive or fuel up or repair or get insured as people made out, and people are having second thoughts about them. Yet we still have woke governments forcing EVs upon people, and that is fundamentally against the freedoms of the individual to choose what type of vehicle they should have. It's just outrageous, in my opinion. So the combustion engine isn't out of the picture yet. It is polluting, and I know that for a fact because I go to Saigon, and the air pollution there is really worrying, and at least the authorities are starting to wake up to that, which is great. But yeah, I'd love to see an EV future, but it's not viable until they get the battery tech up to scratch. Simple as that, in my opinion. So yeah, that was another huge surprise that EVs were on the nose, and now people just aren't buying them the way they were. So there's been a lot of surprises in that year. I wasn't so surprised that Donald Trump won the election in America, which was the most important democratic election in the world because it's the most powerful country in the world. I thought Kamala Harris was a pathetic joke of a candidate. She didn't even go through the culling process that normally is required for Democrats candidates, so it's no surprise that she was a total dud when it came to the hustings. So on to 2025, my predictions, well, anything goes really. We have a huge amount of debt hanging over us. The world could plunge into a severe recession or even a depression. The difference is that we have huge welfare states, so people who are on pensions will still be buying things, so demand won't just sort of crater like it did in 1929 with the Great Depression. However, there are dangers, that's for sure. House prices are ridiculously high. Immigration in Australia and other Western countries is ridiculously high. In the UK, the Conservative Party stabbed their own electors in the back by increasing immigration when they said they'd reduce it, and they are basically scum, in my opinion. I'm hoping that that we will have a more ethical Conservative government in Australia. I think that Peter Dutton will get in because I think Albanese and Bowen have been a disaster, a woke disaster. It started with the referendum they had earlier, the voice referendum. That was the first bungle by Albanese, and it's just continued on since then. So I think the man's a dud, and I believe that we will have a Liberal government in Australia, probably in majority, hopefully not a minority government, because that's always problematic, but we'll see. That's my prediction as far as our local politics is concerned. I think in America, you're going to see a lot more oil pumped, which is going to basically undermine Russia's attempt to crush Ukraine, because their oil revenue will be reduced because the price of oil is going to drop globally, and that's a good thing. What Trump does about the Ukraine conflict, I have no idea. I wonder if Trump himself knows what he's going to do at this stage. I just hope he doesn't sell them out and just say, look, give up land to Russia. Russia doesn't deserve that. Putin cannot be trusted. He's Hitler and Putin are birds of a feather. They were both unethical bastards who would basically promise the world and deliver nothing. So, I don't think we can get much there. I'm hoping that everybody's okay. I really appreciate the support with my channel, and I hope you have a prosperous and a happy 2025. There are always headwinds in the world, but look after number one, look after your own circumstances, and it will help you get through the year. That's my advice. So, I welcome in the new year and a quiet few drops of Bollinger champagne, which is probably not worth the money, but it was nice to share it with a neighbour of mine who gave me a lift from the airport, and he enjoyed it, which was nice. So that was at Trinity Beach, and it was extremely quiet, and no one even celebrated the coming in of New Year's. It was quite extraordinary. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a good time, and I hope the Aussies beat the Indians in the latest test, but I'm not going to put money on it. So have a great day, and sorry for the short video previously. Well, it's 5:30 and first light, and I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping before I head off to the airport, going down to Melbourne. Really happy about that right now because the hot weather up here has been pretty bad. We've gone again into a situation where we have severe weather. We had one day's respite from it, and the Bureau's again categorised it as severe weather. So what I'm going to do right now is just throw out some more veggies. I've got a couple of carrots, and one's definitely going on mould, so I don't want that in the fridge. Nothing worse than coming back from a trip and you have all this mouldy crap in your fridge. One day, years ago, I made the big mistake of just leaving the door of the fridge open, cleaned it out before an overseas trip. When I came back, it was just black mould everywhere over the fridge. It was disgusting. So there are a few things you need to do. Keep your fridge on for a start. It's is one of my suggestions. Anyway, look, I've just got to get these last carrots into the... I had to throw out pumpkin as well. I hate having to throw out food, but at least it's going in the compost. But I've got a couple of carrots that also need to be deposited there. So I'll get that done now. Well, we've got a little bit of light, and it's very saturated around here. We've had a crap load of rain, so I don't have to worry too much about my plants dying in the interim. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'll take the chance on that. Anyway, I'll just head over to where the compost bin is, deposit these rotting carrots into the mix. Okay, so there's the long shot, and I'm just going to... I'll just tear the plastic. It'll be easier that way. Walk over the spongy grass, and it really is spongy. We've had so much rain. And here's the compost bin. I've just got to move a bit of foliage away. This thing is growing really well, which is good, but it does mean I have to actually... it's bloody spider webs and crap. Anyway, I'll just now throw these into the... Alright, I got that little task finished. Yeah, there's a few things you have to remember before you travel. Or I didn't sleep very well last night. I got about... I took a sedative and got about 3 hours or 4 hours sleep, I suppose. Better than nothing. It'll be enough for me to operate today. But, you know, I'm just going to my cousin's place. There won't be any stress involved. It'll be a quiet time there, and they always look after me, so that should be fine. I'll be happy once I'm actually in Lilydale, though. It's quite a long trip from the airport. It's at least an hour by train from the city, and to get to the city I have to take the Sky Bus, so there's a few expenses involved there. The actual concession fare from the city to Lilydale is $5.90. That's the concession fare. Up here we're paying 50 cents for a trip, and that's for everybody, not just concession holders. So cost of living in Victoria is pretty damn high these days. Well, you can see how much rain we've had. Look at this great puddle here on the right. Didn't get any last night, but yesterday got quite a heavy dump of rain, and the grass has come up. I'm going to have a bit of mowing to do when I get back. Luckily it's only a short trip. Now these are the plants. Okay, finally got it. These are the pots. Now I think there's some trees amongst these, and I'd really like to see them grow, but they're still pretty small. And yeah, I've got to have this really strange angle to see these plants. So going down the list here, there's that's actually a hot pepper, that one right in frame at the moment, and we've got a couple of others here. I'm not sure what they are. Now the ones that haven't germinated, well, are just starting to germinate, are the passion fruit, and they've taken over a week to germinate, so they're quite slow. It's quite damp in that pot at the moment. I hope that it retains the moisture. And over here we've got that's my ginger plant, which looks pretty healthy.
So hopefully that'll be okay. You have to spray pyrethrum spray on them though, because the insects go crazy. And lastly, that's my tomatoes. Sadly, my snow peas are pretty well RIP now, so I thought that would happen. See how much water there is there. God, it's just ridiculous. See that? Wow. Again, I have to angle this right across so you can see that particular shot there. Very wet. But it's cool outside, and I'd love to get some outside furniture because it's so much more pleasant out here than in the house. It's definitely about 5 degrees or more higher inside, so I think I've got to get onto that for the rest of the summer just to have a respite from the intense heat. It's really getting to me. I'm sweating at the moment, and it's only about 6 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. Well, I'm at the airport. As usual, security, they pull me up when I do the spread eagle stance. It was something around my hip that came up. It looked like like a lesion on their little scan board. I don't know what it was, but he just said it could be the width of your material, but it just happens to me all the time. I mean, all they did was pat it down. It was no big deal. It was a little less intrusive than last time, so that was good. I mean, like I say, it wasn't that any great inconvenience. I'm just wondering why me all the time. Oh, must be a freak. Met a very nice couple with kids that actually put the tag on the bag for me. They also going to Melbourne for a Christmas reunion, and very nice guy. They live in Atherton, so they weren't complaining about the weather as much as me, because Atherton is decidedly cooler than Cairns, so they wouldn't have copped it nearly as badly as we have. Yeah, I'm on the Mikey, on the Sky bus, just got a return ticket. The ticket office is unmanned now, it's all done with machines, wonderful, so I have to basically use my card. If you don't have a credit card or a debit card, you're stuffed in this world the way things are. So I got myself a return ticket. That's fine. Online it said you could buy a Mikey concession card at the ticket office. No, you can't, because there's no one serving there. And the other weird thing that happened was when I got the luggage handling place, got to collect the carousel to collect my luggage, I thought my bag had turned up. It's exactly the same design as mine, and I'm about to just look through the pockets to double check that, and the guy grabs it off and he says, "No, this is mine." So it's very embarrassing, you know. I was just trying to establish it, because I know I had my comb in the front pocket, and it wasn't in the particular one I was looking at, so I was a bit concerned. And then this guy said, "No, this is mine." And he must have thought I was trying to nick his stuff, but it's never happened to me before. Exactly the same luggage as mine. So maybe I need to make it more unique and identify, because that was a little bit of a worry. But anyway, mine came shortly after. It's all about timing, I guess, isn't it? If mine had been the first one, it would have been an issue. But it was the second one, so there you go. Oh, I got my Mikey card. I asked for $30 on it, but I didn't get a receipt, so God knows what he did. Hopefully it's okay. I finally discovered which is the right platform. If I can get through this PA system, it never shuts up. So, 316 Alamein, stopping all got about 10 minutes before the Lilydale train comes. Welcome to Melbourne, noisy and busy. There you go, Southern Cross, platform 10. It took me a while to work out which line it was. It's been so long, it's been over 5 years, I forgot which platform it was, but definitely this platform here, so hopefully I'll be on my way fairly soon. I'm going to be at least half hour later than what I told Jen at the max, so I totally underestimated how much time it takes to get around a big city. Okay, finally escaped the cacophony of PA announcements at Southern Cross Station. I actually met, while I was waiting to pick up my luggage at T4 at Tullamarine,
I started chatting to a lady who was also from Cairns, although she was from Port Douglas, and she really enjoys it here. And yeah, I think she said that she was, sorry about the framing there, I think she said that she was also from Melbourne originally, so that's why she's here. And yeah, nice lady to talk to. The guy I bought the Mikey ticket off, the concession ticket, he was getting harangued by this woman. I don't think she was happy at all, but I don't think he enjoyed his job much. There was only one customer service guy, but I'll tell you what, at least there was some human being you could talk to, as opposed to Skybus, which now has got rid of all humans. It's just machines you deal with. So that's an improvement. Anyway, I'm in the old loop, underground loop, and on the right train, so finally I'll get to Lilydale and I can finally relax and catch up with Jen. It's about damn time. It's been quite a journey. Yeah, and just in the carriage, Lilydale station, which has been totally renovated since I was here last. It's actually above ground, and you used to have to go through a railway crossing, but that's now below us, the road. Now back to the almighty Yarra after so long. Actually, it's a lot nicer out here than in the train. You just try to get the Mikey card to swipe on the exit. Didn't work. I don't know. Not having much luck with it. That'll be alright being on one of those. Never done one of those cruises. Yeah, it's good they've got this walk bridge. Desperately need the exercise. So, back in good old Melbourne. 25 degrees today, quite a nice day. And I'll go down to South Bank, walk down there, down to Clarendon Street, and then get to Dave's.
Let's run.
So, yeah, excellent weather. And as my cousin predicted, it'd be pretty crowded down here. I'm not surprised. Now, it's a beautiful day. It's nice to be away from the hubbub happening along South Bank. It's quite crowded. A lot of people not looking where they're going. The usual crap. So, nice change to be away from that. So, going to head down Clarendon Street. And I've noticed one new building going up in South Bank, but pretty well much the stuff's pretty well established. Hasn't been that many changes. It's pretty well the way I remember it. But there's Clarendon Street. Just got a few blocks up the road, and I'll catch up with David. Should be good. There's quite a breeze, a bit of a west. It's quite nice though. No complaints about the weather at all. And we're coming up to the my home branch for Commonwealth Bank. I assume it's still there. Maybe it's not. It looks like the right colours, but maybe it isn't. That's my home branch of the Commonwealth, thousands of miles away. It is still here. I thought maybe it had moved, but I just got my bearings wrong. It's been a few years since I've been down Clarendon Street, so... And there's the dreaded ANZ, my other bank. Oh... A lot of people in Clarendon Street today, not surprising. I guess the surprising thing, I thought a lot might be away, but there's enough still here. Now, I should be coming up to Dave Street pretty soon. Cobden Street, just down the road here. So, I'm pretty sure it's the next one. We'll see what my memory's like. Op shop's busy, obviously. I'm nowhere near one, unfortunately. I can do online, Facebook, Marketplace and Gumtree. So that'll have to suffice for me where I'm living in Cairns. But yeah, Dave's very close to that. And let's just see, I think this is his street here, but we'll just double check. Can't see the sign from... No, it actually isn't. This is Napier Street. He's further down. Oh, that's a big black mark against my memory. So there you go. He'll be the next one.
It's very nice down here. Now this must be Cobden coming up. And classic narrow South Melbourne street. Let's have a look here. Yep, that's it. Beautiful. Final stretch. I'm a bit early, I feel bad about that, but I said 1:30, it's about 1:15. But I had no control over it really, because my cousin needed to pick up a couple of guests they had staying for lunch. I didn't want to have to do 2 trips to the railway station, so we're just going down here. Got down to Melbourne a little early. I'm at the Bowls Club at Fitzroy Street, St Kilda. Very nice, beautiful day, perfect weather, and yeah, really, really nice. Good music too, and I don't have to worry about copyright music because I'm non-monetarised. So we're just sinking cans of Melbourne bitter. I'm just leaving Cafe Banth over there. Have a very pleasant time with guys I knew I used to play park cricket with. And park soccer, and you know, it was really nice, and it was great to get together with them. So it was really good. Yeah, I'm very happy with the weather here and the ambience down in St Kilda. But I've got to get back to Lilydale, which is quite a long journey, and I make sure that my bladder is in shape to take on an hour-long journey, which is probably the greatest consideration at my age. Which is a rather pathetic admission, but it's reality. And I did have a few beers there. So, yeah, it's been good. Been really good. Really enjoyed myself. It's been a good day. It's good not to be under the feet of the people who are hosting me, my cousin, because I've just been lounging around there and being a bit of a blob, and it's nice to just get out of the house and meet up with old friends. I just wanted to use a toilet down the main entrance of Southern Cross Station. No go. There's no toilets that end where the major demand would be. You have to go all the way to V-Line area. Just ridiculous. Absolutely absurd that there's no other toilets down the other end of the station, the main entrance of the station. This is third world stuff, really. Pathetic. It was actually quite a nice tram ride from St Kilda Beach to the station. There was an Irish girl that struck up a conversation, a young Irish girl, with this guy who had a beard and looked pretty hippie-ish, and it was just nice. It just sort of just a spontaneous conversation struck up, and it's just, yeah, that was nice humanity. But of course there's nothing on the departure board to indicate what trains are leaving right now, which is wonderful. That's an Eltham train leading, but I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm on the right platform, but there's no indication that I am. My cousin's just taking me for a walk down to the local area. Very nice environment here. Very nice. So we'll see where it ends up.
Yarra Valley.
Here's a view of Yarra Valley from an elevated position on my walk. Just stop being so sedentary. There you go. Okay, we're about to enter the Warburton Trail. So, which way are we going to go? Probably Lilydale, I would say, but I'm only guessing. We can go to the station, okay. Lilydale Lake, I know where that is. Okay. It is a movie camera after all. Oh, okay. Whatever. I'll do. Yeah. Now I'm at Lilydale Lake, and that is the view from our seat as we're about to have pizza and red wine for me, and I think some other
non-alcoholic stuff for Glenn here. Okay, let's enjoy if we can avoid the flies. I can't get used to the fact that the sun is so high in the sky. You can probably, I don't know if it's in frame there, but it's, yeah, you can see it very high. And this is after 7 o'clock at the lakes, and they've got a bit of a beach there. How's that? Pretty unique. So quite pleasant here. I've had a few drinks of red and pizza, and I'm quite happy. We're out in the jetty now, and you can actually take boats out onto this little jetty here and go out in the water for nix, if you're prepared to carry it, I guess, from the car park. They're not too far away. That's beautiful, very relaxing. Oh well, it's Tuesday morning around 8 o'clock in Lilydale in Melbourne, out in the outer eastern suburbs. I'm just going to go and give you a short tour of my cousin's veggie patch. It's quite impressive compared to what I've come up with. So we'll just have a look there. I think that's actually, that might be the tomatoes, I think. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. They're using sort of like straw mulch and a couple of varieties of mulch they get from Bunnings. So they're having pretty good results. If you can see the plants just ahead of us, they're looking pretty good. And now just, that might be beans or something, I think. I think cousin mentioned that yesterday. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, I think these could be beans, but you can see they're very healthy. The growth here is very impressive to me anyway, compared to what I've had. So what we've got down here is actually strawberries. And again, they're looking pretty damn good, I reckon. So I don't know how I'd go growing strawberries in Cairns, but these ones look particularly good. There's flowers coming off them, and they actually will be producing strawberries pretty soon, I'd say. You can see the one just ahead of us has got flowers. So yeah, there's several of them got flowers. So that's going to be quite productive. They've also... Oh, now what have we got? Oh, this is actually a, I think this one's a pepper plant, or they've got peppers, and they've also got passion fruit growing. I'm not sure, maybe, I think they were peppers, although they might be passion fruit, one of the two anyway, but they again, looking healthy, and you can see there's quite a bit of, in this barrel here, they've got quite a bit of mulch there, and they're growing other plants there. And yeah, oh no, that would be that's the passion fruit there. I'm sure that's it. So that was actually the chilies that we just passed by. They look quite fat for chilies, from what I can imagine. But this is their passion fruit, looking great, really good. So yeah, quite easy to grow stuff around here. It's quite, like I say, they've got around an acre, so they've got a hell of a lot of land, which is fantastic, much bigger than my quarter-acre block, and they've got a gazebo which I shot my Merry Christmas video from. That's lovely. It's great. You can big enough to put a table in there to have like an afternoon snack or whatever. It's fantastic on a summer's day. But yeah, looking over there, you can see there's lots of big trees, lots of, you can hear cockatoos and flying overhead a lot of the time. And yeah, it's just a nice semi-rural environment. And that's their house. That's actually the house that my cousin's other half built. So he put a lot of work into it. He's working on a retaining wall, which is hard yakka when you're getting on a bit in years. He's finding it difficult because he won't delegate to other people to do some grunt work like digging trenches and stuff. So, unlike me, he wants to have a proprietary interest in his stuff, and he's a bit of a perfectionist. So it's really well built. So he's coming into frame now. He's going ahead doing his thing this morning. So anyway, that's my little tour of the place I've stayed at for 8 nights, and it's been pretty damn good. It's been a nice change, getting away from the humidity, watching the Aussies beat the Indians. That was something I didn't expect. I thought it would end up being a frustrating draw, but it didn't. These mauve-coloured flowers are, what is it? She told me what they were, but they're actually regarded as a weed here because they're so prolific. But I think they're quite nice plants. So I'd be happy to have weeds like that. Oh, it's a beautiful sunny day here. This Mikey system I don't get, because I shoved my card against the readers on this side. There's 2 readers on this side of the platform downstairs, and there's 2 on the other side. As I was waiting for the lift, I thought, well, look, I'll try the one up on this side, because when I tried both of those, it came up with the dreaded X, meaning it didn't scan properly. I scanned it on that side, and all of a sudden it gives me a tick. Work that out. It's all over the place. So we just went to Aldi. I got myself some baby spinach, $1.99. So it's 120 grams. So it's cheaper than both Coles and Woolies. And I've also got the Viennese fingers. One for myself and one for Sid. What pack of those? They're very nice. So I'm sure he really appreciate that. And I'm just hoping that my 7:50 flight back to Cairns is on time. That would be rather nice. Fairly empty carriage at the moment, but no doubt it'll fill as we get closer to Melbourne. This particular train stops at Flinders Street, so I need to go to Southern Cross. I'll have to maybe change trains or platforms or whatever to get to the next station, which is a bit of a pain, but that's the way they run them on holiday schedules. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been very enjoyable. I had a couple of guests over this today, so it's been quite social for Jen and her other half, and and she's just given me a lift to the railway station, so we'll be up and running fairly soon and head back to the city and to Flinders Street, and then eventually get to Southern Cross. It's just a little after 4 o'clock, and the flight's 7:50, so I've got oodles of time. Gave myself stacks of time to make sure there wouldn't be any problem making it. Being a domestic flight, I don't think you can check in until 2 hours before the flight anyway, so we'll see how it all goes. And I've weighed the big bag, and it's 19 kilos, and I've got a 20 kilo allowance, so it should be okay. Fingers crossed everything's good. Well, I'm at dreaded T4 departures. Got here on time. I'm just about a couple of minutes before the 2-hour opening time to go onto one of those kiosks and get my baggage thingy-bob, and also the boarding pass. The baggage tag, I always have trouble putting it together. We'll see how we go today. It's still pretty crowded here. I thought it might be quiet, but it doesn't look like it. But got plenty of time to spare. Everything's run fairly smooth. The train got to Flinders Street, then went straight through to the Southern Cross, so that was all good. And I found a flight tracker online, so that'll help me a lot, because I won't have to look at those damn departure boards, because my eyesight really makes it difficult. Anyway, it looks as though it might be just about time I can... It's a 7:50 flight, it's about 5:50. Not yet, getting close to, and that's the magic hour when I can actually get this process working. Hopefully it'll go well. Can only hope. Haven't got great memories of doing this, so we'll see how it goes this time. Sid, my lift is waiting for me, but unfortunately there's absolutely no action here at the luggage carrier, so I've got to wait for my luggage, and it's just not even moving yet, so God knows how long it's going to take. Yeah, it's not a good sign. So fingers crossed they start throwing the luggage out pretty soon.
We had some weird glitch getting off the plane too. We had to get returned to our seats in the front rows, the first 10 rows. There's something about the distribution of weight on the plane is causing hassles for them. I don't know what that was about. Weird. Didn't matter anyway because I can't do anything until I get my luggage. So poor old Sid's waiting somewhere at the airport to hear back from me when he can pick me up. A bit of a hassle. There you go. There's absolutely no movement on the carousel. So fingers crossed that changes soon.